Good morning, guys.
Morning, all. How are you?
Very bad morning.
No, what's going on?
Well, this meeting should be interesting. I go down to my office to get ready, and I noticed that I left my laptop cord at the office, and my
Ah,
computer had about 5% left. So I hurry up, went to work, plugged in, and then I couldn't log on to the internet here. For some reason, the Wi-Fi is incorrect. So I'm using my hotspot on my phone. So let's hope this works.
yeah, nothing like a challenge first thing in the morning.
Exactly.
I woke up Monday morning and we're getting ready for work, and Donna goes, she's up in the shower. She comes down. She says, "Mark, I don't think we have any hot water." I'm like, come on, really? Nope, hot water heater wasn't working Monday morning.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that was a fun morning to start, but easy fix actually. So
That's good. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Mike.
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jeff.
Good.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, Phil. How are you this morning?
Pretty good, sir.
Well, it's 7:31. Let's go ahead and let me see if there's anybody else looking to get in.
I can hear people, but I can't see myself.
Hi, Mark.
good morning. How are you?
Pretty good, sir. Did you get a hold of Heather? Did you get a hold of Heather at All Star?
I have not yet. I have to do that. I apologize. I've been just crazy, and we're heading out of town. So
Sure. Okay. Just want to make sure you got the info. I
Yep.
let her know you'd be calling.
thanks, Phil.
For some reason, I don't see my flag that I've got up on the screen to share it. So let's just pretend there's a flag. I've got one behind me. Maybe we can see.
You can see the one
Stand for the
behind you.
pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, I will start off with both happy and crabby dollars. Like I said, my crabby $5 that I will donate the next time I can is that I'm not prepared as I thought I was for this morning's meeting. Computer issues, internet issues. I had to go to the office to be able to do this morning. So hopefully we get through it and I don't lose you guys on my hotspot. The Happy Dollars was 2 weeks ago. Took the family down to Branson, Missouri for 5 days. Had an excellent time. The only bummer of it is we couldn't rent a boat. Must have called a half a dozen to a dozen marinas every day, and they're booked up through the middle of August. Other than that, we were able to take them to the Titanic Museum, which they are in love with Titanic right now. And everybody was socially distancing there. So it was a good week. Nice to be off. And could have used a few extra days, but it was good. Good family time. Anybody next?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. Like I said, we're heading out of town tomorrow morning, bright and early. Can't wait. Gonna be off for I'll be back late Monday. So
Where you
much
going,
needed
Mark?
break. We're gonna go up to the Dells. I rented a house on the river up in the Dells, and I live on a lake, but for whatever reason, I felt I needed to get away and go to another place to fish. So whatever.
Great.
Well, our month-long trip is coming to an end Saturday. We're up north of the Dells, Mark, and we're kind of ready to go home for Saturday. Gonna try and
Where are
do-
you at, Phil?
We're in Friendship, Adams.
Yeah,
Mark?
yeah, very familiar.
Okay. We're right off the Petenwell flowage.
Okay.
Not on the water, just in the woods, but we love it.
Beautiful area.
Yes.
I'll go. Jeff Batts, President McHenry Financial. I guess I have two happy dollars. The first one is very happy that the IHSA has at least tried to have some sports this fall. My son's been running. He's run about 180 days in a row to train for cross-country season. So I'm very happy for him. He would have been pretty down had they canceled all sports. So very happy for him. My second happy dollar, some of you may know, but many of you may not. I'm actually moving my office in Spring Grove, just moving down the street, but I'll be moving in about 2 weeks. So my attendance might be a little spotty between now and then. I vowed never to move an office again, and here we go. So found a place that will be a better fit. I have more space now than I know what to do with. So looking to make the move, and it'll be a good move for the office. So
It's gonna take you a week to move all those books.
oh, this is actually my home. This is my office at my house. So fortunately, you're right. I
Hey, Jeff.
yeah.
Hey, this is Matt. Let me know if you need help moving anything, man.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I got moving companies. You know, it's just packing everything up in boxes. You know, that's just always the fun part. And unpacking them. So thanks, though.
I'll go next. My happy dollar is my 5-year-old survived a major bicycle accident yesterday.
Oh,
By major, not major at all. It was just really funny. He was trying to slow down to look at some frogs in the ditch. He hasn't quite mastered the rear braking yet, the pedal backwards thing, and he went face first right into it. It was actually pretty funny. He came out unscathed, but he was just covered in mud from head to toe. It was face first right into it. It was pretty funny. I was thinking about getting a picture, but I'm like, I should probably just clean him up first. He's good, no injuries. We're getting there on that bike, though.
how old is he, Patrick?
5.
Uh,
Yeah. This is the first summer he's really gotten good on the bike, so he's killing it. Hey, Wendy. Happy
Hi.
Wendy too.
I can jump in if nobody else will. Good morning, everyone. David Lisk,
Hey, David.
Northwestern Medicine. Glad to see everybody. And I am happy about we started the remodel on our first floor of our home this week, which is a project we've been planning since we moved in 9 years ago, and been talked about every which way of doing this. And so demo started this week. We are not doing it ourselves. And happy about that because it's turned into quite a major project. And so over the next 10 weeks, we'll be continuing to work on that. And it probably won't be my happy dollar over the next 10 weeks, but once that's done, it will be again. So, but I'm happy we finally started and got going. So, yeah.
I see we have a guest today, Wendy. Wagner,
Hi.
you'd like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Wendy Wagner. I am the marketing director here at Gary Lang Auto Group. So thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here. Officer Polidori actually invited me to sit in on a couple of meetings. I am looking forward to joining the Rotary. So I just wanted to see what things were all about, and then we'll go from there.
Great, welcome. Glad to have
Welcome,
you.
Wendy.
well, welcome.
Welcome.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll go. My garden's growing great. I'm getting vegetables and lots of tomatoes. I'm excited about that because I love gardening and I love the fact that none of it's got any fertilizer on it. It's not natural.
Hi guys, sorry, I was having trouble with my audio for some reason, so I think I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
You're here. Hey, Kristen.
Anybody else
So
happy?
I'll go.
to add?
I don't know if Mark's already, mentioned, I'm pretty happy we're leaving for the Dells tomorrow for a few days. Just need to get away for a little bit. But I'm also working on a quilt that is just so darn cute. I can't wait to get it finished. So it's almost there. So I'm pretty happy about that. And it's turning out really awesome.
That is Tom Webb. Can you hear me? I can hear everybody, but I can't see myself. Is that good or bad?
Can hear you.
You tell us. We can hear you, Tom, but we can't see you.
Yeah, this is the first time that the picture hasn't come through. It always has every time I've zoomed.
Is the video turned off, Tom?
Where do I find it? It's turned off.
Bottom right corner or bottom left corner. And whoever is unidentified, whose phone number ends in 0012, you must be muted.
Doesn't look like it.
There we go.
There you are,
Hi,
Tom.
Tom.
Good morning. I'm Tom Webb, and just happy to be here.
Awesome, Tom. Anyone else? Anybody else happy? Sheridan, you happy today? I call on you.
Called out.
Yes, I am, despite all the craziness going on with sports and school and everything. But my son got his permit as soon as the DMV opened in June, so we are all still alive, which I guess is good news.
That's a good thing. A little scary, huh?
Yes, a little bit.
Well, I think that's just about everybody. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, so I'm happy that we just put down our last Christmas tree in our house about 2 months ago, and this weekend we're gonna be doing what we call Augustmas, is where we have Christmas all weekend. We really like Christmas in our house, so I'm happy that we're doing that this weekend.
Nice. Cool. I think that's everybody. Let's go ahead. So upcoming dates to be determined. The board decided at Monday's meeting to have a August social / changing of the guard. Donna Adams graciously offered to kind of put that together for us. So she's going to put out a Survey Monkey, I think, to list a couple of possible dates. I think we're looking to do it during the week. Probably meet at Peterson Park again. And then I think she was also looking into possibly the option of getting Popeye's dinner boxes if anybody wanted it, that they could order from her and she would pick it up. Correct, Donna?
Yeah, I thought, it's going to be a tailgate party. So we thought that would be fun. And you could would definitely bring your own drinks. And then if you want to bring your own food, that's fine too. But I thought if people wanted, I'd be more than willing to get a menu for Popeyes out to everyone in the survey. And you can order your individual boxes and just let me know what you want, and I'll place the order and I'll pick them all up on my way to Peterson Park. So that could make it easy for everyone.
Great. Next, Oktoberfest committee meeting. Next one is August 17th at 4 p.m. via Zoom. Donna had sent out, I believe, a couple of days ago, the link for that already. And I'm sure she'll send that out just before the date so we can all attend that. Any update with that, Donna?
No, the only thing is that one of the things that is on the agenda and open for discussion is David is a little concerned that even if we're allowed to do it, that as Rotarians, we would be inconsiderate to go ahead and hold it. So he did come up with an alternative. And it's pretty decent, but I think the committee needs to talk about it and see if it makes sense to do.
Sure.
So that'll be a big topic.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks. And just a real, if I can, just in 1 minute for the rest of the group that maybe didn't see that, so I sent it basically just to the committee. So essentially the idea is a pivot plan similar to how we've adjusted BB&B for this year to be a live stream event. It'd be an adjusted Oktoberfest event, and essentially it could be something like a drive-through pickup meal where we still work with John with Steitz's or maybe with Debbie at Stuckey's and still have German food and advertise it where people can come through and kind of have a drive-through Oktoberfest. And whether we have music playing, whether it's a live band or just a DJ playing some Oktoberfest music, has some decorations, at least still have something where we're having the event, we have people coming through and getting that exposure for us. We may not make a ton of money from it, but more important than that, it's a good event for the community. It's a good way to advertise our sponsors that support us. And it's a good way just to stay in the front of mind of the community. So it's a nice way to be able to still have something in the interest of the fact that we might not be able to have what we really want to have in Oktoberfest because of COVID. So,
Okay. Thanks, David. Continuing, I don't have it on the agenda, but every Tuesday up until the live stream event, the BB&B committee will be meeting at Dennis's office, I believe 5 p.m. each night. Anybody have an update from last night's meeting?
Yes, I do. This is Dennis. We did meet. Actually, our next meeting is going to be at Smith's Garage at 6 p.m. next Tuesday. We're having John Todd and Kevin Purcell and just go over some of the logistics of what we're doing. One of the things, though, that we do need to do is we need to get some people signed up, because we're going to need 10 to 12 people out at the outdoor, because we're going to be doing some raffle and whatnot. So I think what we need to do, and I think Don is going to do it, is send out to start getting people for a sign up. We're going to probably start this thing somewhere in the 4 o'clock range, and it'll end at 10. Both, the function at Smith's Garage will be quite quiet. We're not going to have a lot of people there, just for socially distancing. And then most of the people, I think what we're going to need is at the outdoor, due to the raffle, the band, the movie, and just everything going there. So if anybody is interested, I think maybe when we do a follow-up from this meeting, we'll send it out via the email to everybody to try and start getting this thing signed up for the night of the 29th.
Thanks, Dennis. I've got a question on the BB&B related coming up in the announcements. Club sponsorships. I know that Cynthia Wolf has done an excellent job creating the sponsorship form and a letter that she started sending out. Is that something that she handles, getting the sponsors? Do the club members themselves? I know that the former Sunrise Club, kind of each member handled their own sponsors, so I would hate for us to drop the ball and not reach them.
It's a matter of if you've got the connections with people and you can get the sponsors, you get them. I mean, I know Don last night, we're getting some sponsorship this year out of both Bus Ford and out of Sunnyside. I think it was $2,000 out of Bus, and I think it's $1,000 coming out of Sunnyside. So, I think it's an individual thing this year, just like it normally is. If you know the connections, use them.
Okay.
And for those of you who haven't heard, Gary Lang has offered $5,000 of scholarship this year, or sponsorship this year for us.
You beat me, Donna.
Great. Thank you.
That was
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.
Excellent job. Thanks, Wendy. And Pat for working your magic with Gary Lang there.
Not a problem.
Thank you so much.
Announcements and discussions. July social. So this last week we had our social. I wished I was able to attend. Unfortunately, if I want to be able to live at home and sleep in the master bedroom, I had to be around for my wife's birthday. Anybody go, and how was it? I think it was.
Yeah,
I was there.
I went. This is Denny Welter. There was only 4 of us.
Did you have a good time though?
Yeah,
We learned. Yeah,
it was perfect.
yeah. The weather was very nice. We just shared all informal talk about Rotary of the past and things of that nature.
Good. Club dues and budget meeting. The board on Monday discussed our dues. The discussion came down to that we will be charging $375 annually and reevaluate at the end of December. So basically the quarterly amount, if I've got my notes right here, I think it's $93.75.
Correct.
The concern was that if we've had a few members fall off, or at least one. If we have a few more due to COVID-19 and just financially difficult times due to all of this, we don't want the club to have to foot more of our expenses than we have to. So we decided that we would go with that $93.75 a quarter up until the end of the year, and then reevaluate then. Should not go any higher at all, but possibly stay the same or maybe even lower it if we can. Sheridan should be sending out dues shortly, invoices. We will be including any past due balances on that invoice. So I know the Sunrise Club, there's a few members that have some past due balances. that'll be included on there as well. Bylaws committee, I know.
Oh, hang on, Mike, if I can, with the dues, with the invoices that go out, will that include an optional, or that donation towards the annual share fund, the Rotary Foundation?
I was thinking about that last night. We didn't discuss that. My mistake. I meant to bring that up at the board meeting on Monday. I would like to see us still add that in there, and maybe I can send out an email to the club letting them know invoices are coming and that there will be an optional $100 donation for the annual share fund. I'd like to see that go in there and just let people know that it's completely optional. Any thoughts, Sheridan?
That would be fine. It's something we haven't done for the Noon Club. So as long as people know that it's optional,
Sure.
I think that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, we had put that on our invoices and just made sure that it was highlighted what it was for and that it was optional. Most people didn't necessarily donate, but we did have some, and it kind of helped boost what we were able to put into the annual fund and help us more with our grant.
Mike,
Yes.
the Noon Club, have the last 5 or 6 years, has contributed from our foundation $100 per member. We've been participating in the Every Rotarian Every Year program through the foundation. So if we continue that, and that's up to the board, we will be automatically contributing $100 a year per member.
That way, nobody would be taxed the $100.
Even
Right.
better. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, that's the way we've been doing it, and it's worked out well.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. I bring it up because of the fact that I'm one of the ones that I just started a year or two ago with doing the $100 to try and do my part for the Every Rotarian Every Year and donate that $100 a year. And I forget about it until the invoice comes and I see and go, oh yeah, that's right, I got to make that contribution. So it's a nice reminder to kick in on that. But if we, with the means of doing it through the foundation, that's fantastic in a way that we can definitely support that for our club and also get that support back through the grant from the district.
So Phil, I assume that money is paid out of interest earned on the account?
Yes. Basically, everything we spend comes out of interest.
Okay.
That's excellent. Okay. Club bylaws committee. I know David and the committee have worked really hard on completing a new set of bylaws. It was just sent out to the board last night or yesterday afternoon. Once we look it over and approve it, he will be sending it out to membership. And I believe we've got a 21 days to review that and then vote it in or make changes. Correct, David?
Correct. Yeah. Pretty happy with the draft with where we've gotten from the committee and the board input on getting things set. I have gotten responses from some of the board members, so thank you for those. A nudge along for those that haven't replied, please, if you can, take a look at those as soon as possible and send me an email message, even if it's just, hey, these look good. I'm happy with this. I would ideally like to, if I can get responses from the board, I would like to get that emailed out today, because that would allow us to be lined up with the weekly meetings, and that would put a 21-day timeline on the meeting of the 26th of August, that we would be able to have the formal vote. The standard Rotary bylaws, which is what we're operating under currently, have that you need to change bylaws 21 days notice of when it is presented to the entire club before you have a vote on that. And then that vote requirement is a 2/3 majority in order to approve those bylaws. So the intention would be, if the board's good with them, I'd get those emailed out today to the full club and say that we're going to call for a vote on them on the 26th, 21 days from today. And at that meeting, assuming we have a quorum present, all the criteria is met, et cetera, that we would have that vote and be able to approve them.
I'll get my response to you today.
Thank you.
Great. And I will respond to you too. Next up, District Leadership Academy. I know that I need to talk to Matt. He'd mentioned wanting to do that. Anybody else interested in the District Leadership Academy? They're charging $100 per person, but right now they will charge $100 for the first person. The second person is free, and then the third person would be a cost of $50.
I'm
Great way to-
interested. I'd do it as long as I can copy off your guys' homework.
You really want to copy off mine?
All right, fine. We'll all do it together.
My kids may have to help me out as they're in the background. Great. So up next, club assembly. Like I said, we had our board meeting this past Monday. It's an excellent meeting. Myself, David Liss, Matt Purley, Dennis Buck, Sheridan, Donna Adams, Mark Adams, and Jerry Settles were there in attendance. We are currently at 40 members. Ron Newman submitted his resignation about a week and a half ago. He said that his health is currently fine, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, he has sheltered in place with his significant other, Nikki. They're living right now in Huntley, I believe, and he only makes it back occasionally to his house in Wonder Lake. They've also rented a home down in Florida for the first quarter, he said, and is hoping to, if he likes it down there, sell his house here in Wonder Lake and move down there permanently. So he was sad to go, but completely understand. Donna Schaefer had also submitted a resignation, but after an email back and forth, said that she would stay on till the end of the year. So it brings us down to 40. Obviously, we'll be down to 39 at the end of the year. As we've heard, Wendy from Gary Lang may be interested in joining. That's excellent. We'd love to have you if you enjoy this group. Unfortunately, in-person meeting would be much better, but for now, this seems to be working, and you're always welcome. Committee chair, Mark Adams has signed up to be the membership chairman, which is excellent. So he will be forming a committee, and if anybody's interested in being on that committee, please let Mark know. He's working with, we'll be working with Bob Gibbons, who is starting our marketing plan very shortly, should be within the next week or so. And they'll work on getting some ideas together for marketing the club and how to get new members, and then work that into the membership committee. Treasurer's report. We got a report from Sheridan. Sheridan, was that balance that you gave us from the end of the Rotary year or the end of last month?
June 30th.
June 30th. Okay, so the end of the Rotary year, the checking account balance from the Noon Club was right around $14,500. BB&B account was roughly $1,000 in it, and the total investments in the foundation is roughly $277,000. The Sunrise Club at the end of July, checking balance was $16,295.48. Their foundation was at $17,056.48. I will be helping, we'll be looking to get the books over to Eder Casella within hopefully the next few weeks. And get that all taken care of and get funds transferred as soon as we can over to the general fund and the foundation. Just a reminder, dues are going out again, like I said, so $93.75 a quarter. Pay quarterly, annually, semi-annually, whatever works for you. We will be including past due balances from the previous year on those invoices.
Mike, on the club dues, I'm just curious because like we've got some groups that are discounted for the second member, like kin and things like that. Is that still going to be the same, or is it just straight across the board?
I think we decided when we were talking in the merger that it was just going to be straight across the board.
Okay.
They're really based on, and I could find my, based on the expenses that we incur, that's pretty, at $93.75 pretty much covers it all. So I think discounting them, and I think our club had only discounted, it was between $60 and $90. I don't think that would help us cover.
our dues are pretty lean as it is, as we
Yes,
were
they
going
are.
through it in that board meeting for
Oh,
anyone
yeah,
there.
no, I agree. I'm not challenging the dues or things like that. It's just that if we're not, we need to let them know before they get the invoice. Just communication would be great. That's all I'm saying. Because I don't want them to be like, this is supposed to be discounted and then we have to, put
Sure.
out a fire. I'd rather be proactive than reactive on that.
Well, then the Paradise Financial knows of this. Is there anybody else besides you and Ken? I think Ken is Ken's the only other one.
Ken's the only other one. And like I said, we're fine with it. I just wanted to make sure that Ken understands.
I'll send an email out to both Jeff and Scott today after the meeting. Just
Okay.
letting them know. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep. Thanks, Mike.
The other thing we had, McHenry Sunrise Club gave away $1,000 scholarship last year for a student, Autumn McCure, who will be going to MCC for graphic design, I believe. It was a vocational scholarship that we've been giving out the last number of years. This year, we normally give 3 $1,000 scholarships, but unfortunately, we did not get more than one application. So the motion was made by David and seconded by Pat and passed unanimously that we pay that. So we will be sending a $1,000 scholarship to MCC for Autumn McCure. We'll also be reevaluating when we come to our visioning time, if we want to continue doing that and how we handle it. There was no report given for foundation, fundraising, and scholarships. Like I mentioned before, the sponsorship letter was created along with the form. It's gone out to a few sponsors. And like we heard, Gary Lang has offered to sponsor us for $5,000, and that's excellent. Really appreciate that. That money will go to good work in our community, and we appreciate Gary being so generous with the community. Public relations. We continue to be active on Facebook. There's been Facebook postings, I believe, by Cynthia for the new BB&B live stream event. There were some emails that went back and forth between her and I don't remember the guy's last name, but there's Kevin, who I believe is handling the live stream portion of the event. So he was given admin access to Facebook, both pages, both the BB&B page and our page on there, so he could put up the live link. I think they're going to stream it on our YouTube channel and the 2 Facebook pages as well. So he needed access to that. So we're kind of working out those kinks right now, and that should be fun. Public marketing plan. Like I said, Bob Gibbons has put together, and hopefully some of you were able to see the presentation he gave a few weeks ago. We'll be putting together a marketing plan for us to get the word out about our club, the great work we do in the community, and the fact that we are now a new, stronger, merged club. 40 members can certainly do a lot more as a combined club than we were doing, I'm sure, in the past as 2 individual clubs. Bob has put together a great plan, and I believe he's getting that started within the next week or 2. I know he's going to reach out to each member, hoping to get members to be active on Facebook, create posts, share posts, invite your friends. I believe he's asking for a couple people to do videos, which I'll be honest, will scare me. So that should be interesting. Not my favorite thing to do, but we will manage. Or maybe I'll get a stand-in. I haven't decided yet. Club service. 5 avenues of service. Club service. We just need to put our heads together and see what we can do to foster the relationships with all our members. Unfortunately, with us not meeting in person, it's kind of hard for the 2 clubs merging to get to know each other more. I already know, like myself, know a few people from the Noon Club, but this doesn't really help us do that. So hopefully we can come up with other ideas, maybe service projects where we can remain socially distant yet out there and meeting each other and getting to know each other a little bit better. Looking for ideas on that. If you've got any service project ideas, anybody wants a social last minute, let's plan something where we can at least get together. Like I said, be socially distant, but still get to know each other a little bit better. I know some of us are missing the in-person meetings.
Mike,
What's that?
it's Phil. One thing might help if the meeting started 10 minutes early. So as people that joined, we could get to know each other that way, just like as if we were there in person.
I will do that. I tried doing that in the beginning and then I stopped because I'd forget to hit the record button and didn't really want to record all the mindless talk the 10 minutes before, but I will do that. I'll start meetings 10 minutes earlier now.
It's a good idea.
Good
Phil.
idea.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Great.
Probably make the meeting start at 8 then.
What's that?
You should probably make the meeting start at 8 then.
Yeah. 7:20 is a little too early for you, Kristen?
It's really hard for me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hear you. Vocational service. So like I mentioned, we had our, the Sunrise Club had their vocational scholarship that we give out. Donna is reaching out to the 3 schools to see how we can revise our form if we choose to move forward with that scholarship, and also how we can better engage the students. Only getting 1 application is really kind of sad when there are plenty of people out there that can use the money for school. We used to give it away at the MTI Expo that McHenry East Campus holds every fall. At that time, we were just collecting names, and it was kind of a pick out of the hat who won. Unfortunately, we got people that either weren't going to a trade school one year, or people that didn't even take advantage of it, that were there and their name was drawn and didn't come for the money. So we'd like to see how we can engage the students and get some better candidates in there that are willing to follow the process and collect the money and go on to better things. Next, we talked about community service. Looking for a service project. The Sunrise Club, for probably the better half of a year, had been discussing a Johnsburg Park project. We had talked, it was back when the district or RI, I don't remember which, had us all planting 1 tree for each member. Kind of started with that, and then we moved it on to doing that along with a project at a park in Johnsburg. Seemed to kind of keep dropping the ball on me. Johnsburg never responded to us, and we didn't keep up with them, so that was dropped. We'd like to find some sort of park beautification project. If we can find something out there, reach out to people check out with the community, see if they have any projects that they have in mind. If you have any other projects you'd like to do community service wise, please bring it to the club. Let me know or let one of the board members know, and we will discuss. It'd be nice if we can do some good things out in the community.
I think just with another point that was brought up on that, and to reinforce, is that a problem that we had from the Sunrise Club's perspective on that project and why we kept dropping the balls, because we didn't have anybody. Everybody was excited about it and wanted it to happen. Nobody wanted to champion that cause. Nobody wanted to really take the reins and be the leader on that. So I guess that would be my ask, is if that sounds like something you want to be the leader of, and say, will you be the champion of the club and kind of take the reins on that? If that sounds like something you might want to do, definitely speak up, and whether it's behind closed doors or maybe even just asking questions. Hey, what's that going to entail? How much work do I need to do, or who's going to support me on that? Definitely talk to one of the board members, and we will definitely support you. I know that between our club, my guess is we'll have a rallying of a ton of members that will want to do that and want to support that cause. It's just a matter of, in the past, nobody really took up those reins as the leader of getting that initiated. That's where we kind of fell on our faces in that regard. So that's what we're missing.
So is this a subliminal message, David, that you want to take on whatever task we come up with?
I will be there to help, but I cannot lead this project, as I said during the board meeting. Matt, you were saying something.
Yeah, I have a question.
Matt.
So last year you said the focus was on the trees, and that's how that kind of went around there. Do we have a focus on what the service project should be this year, or is it just find something?
I don't think that we have any focus at the moment. I would say if there's something that is near and dear to your heart, bring it to the club and let's see what sticks. Let's come up with a couple ideas. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't do one or two or multiple if it works out. Something, whether it's something like park beautification or if it's just helping fish food pantry every couple of months, some sort of service project where we could all get involved. International service. Don't really have anything to report, but it was brought up that it'd be a good idea to have someone come in and talk about ImaBridge again. Many of the Sunrise members may not be aware of what that program is. So I will be scheduling a presentation hopefully in the next few weeks.
Hey, Mike, does the, I hate saying Noon Club, but were you guys doing any international project?
The ImaBridge was our international project because it's all taking place in Africa.
Okay.
So yes, we've been very active for putting this thing together for the last year or two, and we actually have other clubs that they have presented to, and we've actually, I can't tell you what clubs, but we've had some of the other clubs in the district that have actually donated to help us with ImaBridge. And we've gone for a grant as well, which I believe we've received one.
Fantastic. Okay.
Did you guys reach out this year for a grant?
Yeah, a global grant has been applied for, so that's in process.
Okay. I know the Sunrise Club reached out for a $500 grant for the Sunrise Secret Santa program, and that was awarded, and we should be getting a check shortly from the district. Youth service. Jeff will be our RILA chair again this year. Any update on that, Jeff? I know it's not looking good.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. I did reach out to Sean Nelson, who's the district director for RILA, as well as Lyle, our district governor, just looking for an update. I had not heard anything about RILA. Both the fall RILA, as you probably are aware, last year, 2019, was our first fall RILA session, and then we had 2 spring RILA sessions. There are dates on the calendar for RILA. I don't have them at my disposal, but basically it's November, March, and April, and I'll get the exact dates to the club. I took a step further and just, I said, what does it look like? And of course, everything is fluid right now. I think the answer, what Sean had said is trying to plan too much right now is a little bit of an act in futility, but we do have dates on the calendar for RILA, so there is a plan for that. I reached out to our schools. I reached out to Carl Valianatos, who's the curriculum director for the McHenry High Schools, and Tom Haram, our main contact at Johnsburg High School, asking them both, would the district be willing to send students to RILA? Because in March, we had students lined up, and both districts basically had to pull their students back and would not be comfortable sending them back in the early part of this pandemic. Of course, RILA got canceled, but the answer was, Carl had said that McHenry schools, if they go back to in-person learning, he believed that he would feel comfortable with that. Or if Illinois is still in phase 4, he felt that you could do it kind of at the student or parent's own risk, if you will. Johnsburg basically said until they go back to in-person learning, he felt the district would have a hard time supporting sending students to RILA. So I don't know if everybody's aware, both the Johnsburg High School system and the McHenry High School system have both switched to 100% remote learning to start the year. That was a change. That Johnsburg, I know 2 weeks ago, was supposed to do an alternate where they had students divided up into 2 groups and they would do some in person, some remote. They made that decision Monday night to go to all remote. And I believe yesterday the decision was made in McHenry to go to all remote learning. So I think it's safe to say that Sean Nelson said he put forth the dates and the proposal up to the district. The district has not approved RILA yet for the fall or the spring. We'll have to see how the district is gonna weigh that. I would suspect the fall RILA is probably in jeopardy, but I'll keep you posted on the spring RILA. We're optimistic. So.
Thanks, Jeff.
I've got a question, maybe for Jeff and or Sheridan. Were any funds from either club paid into RILA or into the district for the March meeting that are still being held, or not?
And our club received the money back.
And I
Received a check.
thought Dawn had mentioned to me at one time they received their money back too. Sheridan, do you confirm? Can you confirm that? You remember?
Yeah, I'll check. I don't remember.
Checks did come back out from the district. It wasn't until early summer, but they did come back out, Tom. So, yep, good question. So we had an opportunity to kind of roll over the funds or leave them on deposit there. Both clubs, the Noon and the Sunrise at the time, both agreed to just have the funds refunded, not knowing how things were going to go going forward. So we did get those funds back. So, I can also I'll just mention real quick on scholarship. I know it came up a moment ago. If you need any help, we have great champions at our high schools. We have Jeff Prickett, the principal at East Campus, of course, Terry Fitzgibbons, assistant principal at West Campus, Carla Valianatos, who's no longer a member, but a very close friend of the club, and hopefully he'll come back at some point. He's the curriculum director at McHenry. Tom Harum is very active, and Ted Jeske, the athletic director of Johnsburg, were both members at one time. Tom still is a member, I'm sorry. What I'm getting at is, I know that those people, I don't think were involved with the scholarship process last time, and we probably should get a broader swath available for our scholarships as we go forward, because I know they would champion it for us by all means. So.
Jeff, I agree with that. I know Java is very, very successful with their scholarship program, and Dr. Rachel heads that up. So her and I, when she gets back from her vacation, are going to get together, and she's going to help me. She's going to give me the names for the Johnsburg, and like you said, I already have most of the names for the McHenry because of, they were in our club and we know who they are. But she has she has a procedure. That by this date, this has to be done. By this date, this has to be done. So she's going to share that with me. And of course, we might have to change the dates because of the timing of our scholarship versus her scholarship. But my plan is to put together an entire, punch list of what needs to be done and what needs to be done by when, so that should something happen to me, Mark and I move to Florida, who knows, there's a binder that has the procedure put in there, so whoever picks it up will be able to just move forward with it, kind of like our ham dinner used to be.
Good.
Great, thanks, Donna.
I do know, I can't speak to the AP testing, but I know we'll talk about that at visioning. I don't know how that's impacted this year, or if it is. I know both clubs have supported AP testing through the schools, so.
Well,
definitely
that's the point, is that our Noon Club, starting 3 years ago, went away from scholarship, academic scholarships. We couldn't find vocational, so we were doing things with Bill Brogan, MCC, and the law enforcement or law program over there. But we decided that we were doing 3 $1,000 academic scholarships, and we would get 30, 35, 40 applicants every year. We'd interview 12, narrow it down to the 3. But from participating in the awards ceremonies, like at East Campus, we would pick a candidate, and all of a sudden we'd be on stage giving them $1,000, and they were on stage 8 or 9 other times picking up $20,000, $30,000. So we said, wow, we're not reaching much with our $1,000, but we are reaching a lot of people with AP scholarships. So for 3 years ago, which was probably the best year, and then the second 2 years ago, we were doing about $9,000 or $10,000 total in AP scholarships for Johnsburg, 15, and we had some at Marion. So, and this, of course, this last year, it all kind of fell apart because of the COVID thing, but sure. I'm still questioning is the new clubs going to continue with academic scholarships or support AP testing, or both?
So I think one of the things that we discussed was that, and I wasn't aware of this, but apparently the Noon Club Foundation has, through some direction from whoever donated the money, is still doing vocational scholarships. And I think the direction, you know, we're talking about is looking at, in our visioning, do we want to continue doing, I guess the foundation by direction has to do some vocational scholarships. And I think that the general consensus is we want to continue to do both.
Yeah,
That's not correct, Mark. We're not required to do vocational scholarships. There are money set aside for particular, excuse me, the Harry Dean Foundation is for retail education. Somebody who wants to go into retail.
Business.
Yeah, business. The occasional applicant, that fund can come out of there, but there's no requirement that we use it every year. It could sit there.
Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah. Okay.
An example was a couple years ago, we were supporting DECA at Johnsburg High School, which is a business club. And we were helping them go to their international competition in Atlanta, Georgia. They were doing extremely well as a club. DECA doesn't have a organization in McHenry school system, but they very active in Johnsburg. We were supporting that in a big way for a number of years. Vocationally, we just have not found, Bill Brogan was our key guy that was helping at MCC finding a home in that area. But for the last year and a half, we found nobody coming forward that said, I need financial help. Firefighting was being well taken care of by the local fire protection districts. And we had participated in the district vocational program for that competition for many years. Some years we'd get a lot of applications, and then in the last number of years when we tried, we got no applications. So it's not for lack of trying, it's just finding an avenue to find vocational students that have a financial need and want to participate.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, we will address that in our club visioning. Speaking of club visioning, the district is working on, I believe with another district or two, creating a virtual visioning session. When I reached out to Governor Lyle, he asked if we would be the guinea pig for that. And I said we would love to. The visioning process is very important and very beneficial and will be a lot of help for our club moving forward as a new merged club. So I will actually reach out again. It's probably been a month since I've heard from him on that. I'll reach out again and see where they sit, and we will try to schedule something as soon as it's ready.
Hey, Mike, with the coronavirus and the decisions of McHenry and Johnsburg to go remote for the full school year, have we reached out to any of the schools and asked them whether or not particular families need a computer to help them do that? Or has the school already taken care of that?
That's a good question. I know that last year that they were giving out Chromebooks, at least District 15. I know my 3 kids, we didn't have Chromebooks for them. So they let the kids have Chromebooks. They allowed them to come to school, pick them up, and we return them at the end of the semester. They're really not telling the families what they're doing yet. We know that I think they start on the 24th. They just decided, both districts this week have decided to go through the end of October, I believe. No, actually early November, November 4th, with remote learning. They haven't said yet. So it's probably a good idea to reach out and see if they need assistance. Maybe that's something we as a club could help with, purchase a few Chromebooks or something.
From what I've heard, District 15 is going to be giving every student a Chromebook. So
kind of figured that was the
but
case.
I'm not sure about 156.
The high schools too. I mean, that's just part of their fees. They get a Chromebook for their.
I think they're
4
covered
years.
on that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Next thing is a little over a month ago, maybe it was about a month ago, I sent out the survey of in-person meeting and how people feel about that. We had about 20 replies out of the 41 members at the time, and about half replied that they're really not feeling comfortable meeting in person right now. So we feel that it's probably best that we continue doing the Zoom meetings. I know Mark being a part of Java, said he's working on, they've got a meeting tonight where they're trying to do a mixture of the two, both in person and a hybrid, so to speak. So he's trying out his process to see if it works. I think he's providing a microphone, and we'll see, get some input from him and how maybe if we have a few members that want to meet, how we can possibly do a hybrid, a mix of both. So we'll be looking into that in the near future. And that's really about it. We've decided that our monthly board meetings will be the first Wednesday of every month after our normal meeting. So it'll be 8:30 in the morning. Just remember, all are welcome. That's all I have for our first board meeting. Any questions, comments, concerns? Anything for the good of Rotary?
Not to put Wendy on the spot here, but they are going to be having a blood drive coming up next month. I was thinking maybe we could help them promote it, put it on the schedule. Along with that, they're also going to have a Pinewood Derby where I think, did you say they're going to be incorporating CO2 cartridges into the cars?
Yeah, so the Boy Scouts approached me. I've been trying to get into one of the Boy Scout troops for now 4 years, to offer up our service bay as a place for them to do Pinewood Derby. And they finally to me, they want to do a Pinewood Derby here as a way to recruit new boys into their program. So any boy who participates needs to bring another friend as an opportunity to introduce them to the troop. So what they're doing this year is they will be actually building their Pinewood Derby cars out on our lot under our big tent. And then they have CO2 cartridges that they're going to put in there to make them go a little bit faster. That actually will be done in our service bay. And then the older boys are going to be launching rockets in the big field next to us. So they can figure out wind velocity and all those other kinds of things. So that'll actually be happening on September 19th. And then during that same time, Versity Blood Center reached out to me. We do blood drives at least once a quarter, or at least I'd like them to be once a quarter. So that same day, we are going to be hosting a blood drive in our Cadillac showroom. As you know, the blood supply is insanely low. So we want to do everything we can to improve that. So we'll be hosting that blood drive 9 to 2 that day. The Boy Scouts hopefully will be promoting it. They actually get a community service merit badge if they do that. So if they promote the blood drive, the Versity will actually promote the Pinewood Derby. And then McHenry Police Department hopefully will be here handing out some different things, tchotchkes and things of that nature. Hopefully some of the officers can give blood. And then obviously if any of you would like to come and either see the rockets launch or the cars explode or do whatever they're going to do and give blood, that would be awesome.
I'm gonna
Big day
bring
here
radar
at Gary
gun to
Lake.
see- I'm gonna see if our radar gun can pick up the cars with the CO2 to see how fast they go. But I think it'd be a great opportunity for us to at least promote a blood drive, which we are in
think
dire
that's
need
great.
right now. So
They
That's
would
great.
definitely appreciate that. It's, I mean, I do everything I can from the side of Gary Lang. Hopefully too, we'll be doing a virtual remote with Star 105.5. So what we do is over the course of 15 minutes or so, Joe from Star 105.5 does his little thing from home, and then he split screens with me. And we do walk arounds. We'll talk about the blood drive, introduce them, our live Facebook feed to the Star 105.5 audience, let them know we're having a blood drive. We'll take them over, introduce the Boy Scouts, probably the McHenry officers. And then we can certainly, if you would like to be involved, we can certainly mention the Rotary too.
Great. Wendy, I think I will reach out later today to get some more information from you,
Okay.
so we make sure we get that on our Facebook page
Okay.
and possibly email out to the district to see if we can get some more support
Sure.
from our
You know what?
fellow clubs.
Hold on to that because the Boy Scouts actually reached out to me yesterday. They want to meet with me this week. to secure all of the fine details. And then I'll be getting that to Versity. And then we'll have a flyer that I can actually put into a JPEG, and then you can post it out. So that way it makes it easier and you don't have to come up with anything on your own.
Okay.
It's easier for me to send it to you.
That's great.
Wendy,
Okay,
I'm
thank
sorry,
you.
but I missed the date of that. Could you, so I can get it on my calendar?
Yes, it will be Saturday, September 19th.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Wendy.
Could
Anything
we have
else?
the our Rotary Club members / families make cars to do a second heat of Pinewood Derby to promote, and having the winner between our members, our club supports something that member wants to do a donation, a $500 donation towards something or whatever we deem, and say that that incentive for our members and their families to participate and do it, kind of a not competing against the Scouts, but if everything's set up, if we're able to do something like that.
That'd be cool. I considered bringing my 5-year-old just because how awesome is rocket propelled Pinewood cars. I mean, that's super
Exactly.
cool. And your kids too,
Well,
Mike. They'd love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they
that
would love it.
rocks.
Yeah,
We
for
could do
sure.
Rotary against the police department, so.
Oh, here we
There you
go.
go.
I like it.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I just think it's hysterical because when they approached me, my son is a Boy Scout, so I've been doing Pine for now 7 years. And they're like, but we're going to put CO2 cartridges in. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm a car chick at a car dealership. They're making these things go faster. They're not even putting them on tracks. So we're going to have cars all over the place. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome.
I'm happy to consult.
There you go.
Come on, Jerry, you're not going to build a car and get right down in it?
No, I'll consult, but the science teacher in me just can't let that one go.
Good. Good.
It sounds amazing.
Well, thank you. That does sound great. Anything else for the good of Rotary? If not, Jeff, you want to lead us in the 4-way test?
Certainly.
See if I can share it. Nope, can't.
The
You can do it.
four-way test, the things we think, say, or do. First, is
Is
it
it the truth?
Second,
Is
is
it
it
fair to
fair
all
to
concerned?
third,
Will it
Build
build
goodwill, better
friendships?
friendships.
fourth,
Will it be beneficial to
All
all?
concerned.
Concerned.
and
Fifth?
fifth.
Is it fun?
Is it fun?
Fun.
Thanks, guys. I promise next week I will be 10 minutes early. I'll have my cord with me and I'll be able to share things on the screen again. Today was kind of a disaster, but thanks for everybody coming. Have a great week.
Have a great
Wendy,
week,
thank you.
Wendy, great to meet you.
Everyone.
You
Thanks,
too.
everyone. Bye.
See you
Thank
again next week.
you.
Bye-bye.
Have a
Bye,
good
guys.
week. Bye.
Good seeing you.
Bye.
Thanks for coming, Wendy.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for having me.